So let's get started, right? The first thing says your next opportunity will not come from code alone. It will come from the visibility your work creates. I'll start by telling the story. While I'm a community manager, I'm also a developer. I write code. I build interesting projects and softwares, right? But I was just that person that wanted to write code and not be seen by anybody. I just wanted to be behind the scenes, right? But as you can tell, that didn't work out well, right? But so your next opportunity will not come from your code alone. It will come from the visibility your work creates. Meaning that if you do good work, visibility will come to you one way or the other, right? But you also need to put yourself out there. I know a lot of developers who are really good at what they do, but they keep asking, "Oh, I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that," right? So you need to put yourself out there. Now, the big shift. Many developers build amazing projects, amazing things that nobody really sees. You never can tell what they are building until when you see it. But now, visibility is a part of the job. Content equals to living proof. We are now in the age of AI, whereby AI can do a lot of work for you, right? AI can build like a front end and all of those things, right? So, how do you stand out? That is what our topic is about, right? So, what gives you an advantage as a developer or someone in tech? Whether you're a developer, you're a designer, you're a product person, whatever the case you are in. Now, the opportunity. Why now? What do you think the opportunity provides? Anybody? The opportunity we have now. Why is it now you should have something called the developer advantage? Anybody? All right, I'll tell you why. Now, tech is evolving fast, and visibility helps you ride the wave. Web, cloud, and AI are growing very fast, right? So, is that you're in the web space, or you're in the AI space, or you're in the cloud space? Who is a cloud engineer here? All right, so you can tell how fast it's growing, right? There's rapid growth, there's a lot of things to learn. So early career devs now get discovered through their public work, in the sense that your work has to be out there, right? People have to be able to see your work and say, I know the developer that did this, I know the designer that did this. Who knows Partyvest? Partyvest. Have you heard of Partyvest? It's an app. All right. Who knows any of the designers or the developers that built Partyvest? You don't know? Okay, you can check out AJ. AJ is on Twitter. There's I can't remember the other people's name, right? But the reason why you can easily tell these are these people's work is because they've been putting their work out there for like a long while. So teams, communities, recruiters look for builders who show their process, right? So in early 2020, how many of us are new in tech? Are you new in tech? Okay. Who started tech in 2020? Nobody. Okay. Who remembers 100 days of code? Or did you meet 100 days of code? Good. So you can tell that a lot of people showed their process of learning during that period, right? They were able to like document their learning. And we can all testify that a lot of people got jobs during that period, right? Good. Right. So people are looking for people who are documenting their processes, right? So recruiters are looking for people who can document your process, and they can go on your profile and see what you've done and decide if they are moving on with you or not. What developer content really is. What does developer content mean, right? Developer content is basically simply sharing what you're learning and what you're building, whether through your GitHub activity, short posts of what you've learned, screenshots of bug fixes, and experimenting, right? I happen to be someone who experiments a lot. When somebody asks me what I do, sometimes I get confused because I do a lot of things. Software engineering, community, a bit of quality assurance. Now you may wonder, why am I doing quality assurance? Experimenting, right? I found quality assurance and I decided to go into it. And I realized that it made me become a better developer because when I'm building, I understand what quality assurance guys are going to test for. So I'm already even implementing tests into my code before a QA engineer comes through. Now, there's also mini blogs, threads, code walkthroughs, videos of voiceover, right? So you don't need to be an expert. You just need to be visible, right? Again, if you listen to Glory's talk, he mentioned how he joined the GDSC community and then he got to lead the community. I had that same story, right? I just wanted to do cool stuff, right? And by the time I was leading the Google developer community in my school, I wasn't even an expert. In fact, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was learning as I progressed, right? And I was visible. So what do you need to do? You need to start with what you know. You need to share your small wins and simple progress. You need to focus on documenting and not performing, right? So a lot of people are making a lot of noise on social media these days. You will see a lot of developers, banter. By the time you check their portfolio, you're not really seeing a lot of things, right? So in as much as there's a lot of noise, focus on documenting your processes. Let people be able to see your thought process, your workflow. If you're in an interview, if you've done code interviews before, you would know that you sometimes have live coding sessions where the recruiter wants to see how your thought process is, right? Your journey is more valuable than your perfection. So churn out content as much as possible. When I look at content I was churning out in early 2023, 2022, I cringed badly, right? But now I've grown, I've become better. Now, there are three types of developer content. There's showing what you build, which is GitHub and demos. There's teaching what you learn, blog posts, tutorials. There's also sharing your journey with YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn, right? So there are various ways you can share your content, right? I used to teach. I used to be a front-end instructor a long time ago. And the more I teach, the better I get at it, right? I always got better at what I was doing. Now, there's something called the build, share, and amplify framework, whereby you build something, you experiment, you share, and then you amplify it, right? That's like the process to sharing your work. When you build, you're building projects, lab experiments, and you're showing you're making errors, you're posting reflections, demos, or code snippets. You're also amplifying whatever you put. People can see it on GitHub, on LinkedIn, and all of that. So why sharing your work matters? The internet has democratized the opportunity, right? Anyone can publish and push content out. Companies now hire based on proof and not promises, right? Companies want to see what you can do. A lot of when I got into school, I wanted to be in tech. I wanted to study computer science. I knew a couple of people that study computer science, but we can all tell today that studying computer science does not guarantee you a job in software engineering. Am I correct? Exactly, right. So you need to be able to. People want to see what you know, actually, not just anything. Web, cloud, and AI are evolving very fast. Those who share what they learn stay on top of mind, right? And their visibility compounds over time. Your work keeps showing up for you every time, right? You get referrals and all of those things. Now, how visibility opens doors in web, cloud, and AI, right? There's the web development, which is showing your UI, UX thinking, open source your components, sharing case studies on performance improvements. For cloud engineers, right, you're documenting your infra setups, you're maybe sharing deployment walkthroughs if you can. You publish troubleshooting lessons and all of that. For AI and ML guys, you share your notebooks, explain complex concepts, right? You can just break them down. Breaking them down is one of the easiest things you can do and show real world applications. Now, the visibility flywheel, right? Sorry, this is not a wheel literally, but we're saying the same thing. Learn something, build something, share it publicly, engage with the community and repeat. That cycle continues. And I promise you, if you do that for 1 year, you would see the changes, right? You'll see people start to notice you, right? Again, it's not for everybody. You don't have to always be making noise. You can follow what works for you, right? If you're an introvert like me, right, social media is exhausting, right? Putting out content is exhausting. But when you can, make sure you put it. If you decide that, you want to churn out content every 3 to 6 months, go ahead and do it. If you want to churn out content every week, go ahead and do it. If you want to do it for 90-day stretch, go ahead and do it. You would eventually always compound your process. Now, what content should developers actually create? You can do stuff around project breakdowns, architectural diagrams, short demos. It can be as simple as explaining a concept. Now, I'll give you a scenario. I'm a community manager, right? And I manage a community of over 5,000 people. I had a task to do, and I wanted to send DMs to all 5,000 people on Slack. That's a lot of work, right? Now, I'm a very lazy person, and I like automating stuff. And I said, you know what, let's automate this thing. And I found an article that was written in 2021. I can't remember his name now, but I know his first name is David, that documented a step-by-step process on how to automate sending DMs on Slack with Google Sheets. And in less than 30 minutes, I whipped it up and I sent a bulk DM as myself. So the DM got to people showing me, but I'd already ran an automated script. And in 30 minutes, I was done, which was something that if I was going to do manually, would have taken me a long time, right? But now, what am I trying to say? All that person did was write a short demo, a short article, and That is his own contribution. So there's dev logs, there's open source contributions, tutorials. Even if it's a simple tutorial, you can document your lessons, you can put in your debugging stories. Debugging is crazy. I remember one time I was working as a QA person, a QA engineer at a particular company, and we were on a debugging call for over 6 hours. Eventually, we figured it out, and somebody wrote an entire article about the process. I think the AI works on Money Points now, if I'm not mistaken. So, how do developers get discovered? There's also recruiters find your GitHub. Someone shares your post internally. So your project gets started on GitHub. A CTO sees your breakdown on LinkedIn. Where I currently work as a community manager, how did I get the job? I co-organized an event last year, and I was interviewed, and I explained the process of what it took to organize the event and what we're going to do post-event. And the co-founder of the company found it, and he sent me a DM, and I responded, and I work there. So you can imagine if you don't put your content out there. Now, there's something called personal branding for your developers. What problems do you love solving? What tools or tech excites you? What do people usually ask for your help with, right? These are the things that can help you determine what kind of content you want to churn out, right? So your brand equals to what people come to you for. Like now, for me, a lot of people come to me for community management questions, things around how do you do what you're doing, how do you put yourself out there, and eventually it all comes to what do I love solving, what do I enjoy doing. Now, the compounding effect of sharing your work. Easier job offers, collaborators reach out, you get more referrals without even asking, more speaking invitations. I think Busaya mentioned that she wasn't invited to speak here. She was invited to speak here. I did not apply. A friend just asked me, do you want to speak? And then I put in my topic, right? So more speaking invitations, people trust your expertise, senior engineers notice your growth, you become a go-to person in your niche eventually. Okay, so now let's look at a case study of people who have put in their work and what it has brought for them, right? So Ahmed Tikawa consistently, and he was consistent with putting content out for Android and Flutter blogs, and he caught Google's attention, and they invited him to become a Google developer expert, right? That's someone that was just churning out content. He did not apply to become a GDE. He just got invited based on something he has been churning out content for like a long while. On that case study is a friend of mine. Her name is Joy Undukwe. She's also a community manager, right? This is her YouTube channel. She started a YouTube channel a couple of months back. And what does she do? She's currently doing a 90-day challenge to churn out content. And she got noticed. She got recognized by a company called Nuru. And now she works as a community manager at Nuru. This is someone that has not had a job in over 1 year. But one day she just woke up and said, you know what? I want to start making a YouTube video about community management, right? And now she's doing very well, right? So you can scan this QR code to check out our YouTube channel if you're interested in learning things about community management. Or you can also just search Bytes with Joy, BYTES with Joy. And lastly, what is the mindset shift? To win as a developer in web, cloud, and AI, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to be visible, consistent, and authentic. Right? This is all you need. And the developer advantage is yours. And now, what are my final thoughts? Your work deserves to be seen. Your ideas deserve a platform. Your journey deserves an audience. If you want more opportunities, start showing your work today. Start small, and stay consistent. And eventually, pays off in the long run. Lastly, I work at the Enyata currently, and we're currently building a talent board. And by January, we're having a lot of companies come hire from our talent board. So if you want to join the Enyata talent board, you can scan the QR code or go to talents.enyata.com and fill in and sign up. It's less than 5 minutes to fill up. And what it does is it helps you connect with roles and opportunities with top companies, a growing network of developers and engineering teams. And it's basically built for early stage careers and mid-level talents. And if you have any questions concerning talent board, you can come meet me afterwards. I'm still around for a while. So your next opportunity is one profile away. And with that being said, thank you very much for listening to me. I forgot to put my socials here, but you can find me on LinkedIn as Daniel Umorem, Umoren, and you can find me on Twitter, Instagram at DUmorem. THE underscore Umoren, UMOREN underscore.